Ho ho ho! 2024 Christmas has come and gone. What's everybody looking forward to buying next year? The rights to oxygen? Just a little canister of it that we can all barely fucking afford because the earth is unbreathable? We have dangerous times ahead that we're going into, no doubt about it. This 2024 and this Thanksgiving, consumer spending was up. Not record level, but very close to it. Which is why I've always thought this whole economic anxiety argument is bullshit. People feel a certain way. The polls about it, they're like, how well do you think the economy is doing in this country? Oh, it's going terrible. It's awful. It's horrible. How are your personal finances doing? Oh, I'm doing really good, actually. I finally have money in the bank. I'm doing good. These are the facts. Credit card usage has been, credit card debt rather, has been cut. More people have money in savings. The income gap has shrunk. That said, as we can see, there are still a shitload of problems, all caused by the billionaires. The very same billionaires that Trump and his regime of groomers are now installing into the White House. It's gonna get bad. So for my drink of choice today, I have tequila and orange juice. Mostly tequila. Oh, I put a lot of orange juice in there and I can still smell it. Like a vodka orange juice is what called a screwdriver, right? So why is it a tequila and orange juice is just called a tequila sunrise? That's fucking boring. Why isn't it called a hammer? Because that's what it feels like every time you take a sip. Oh my god. I have so much orange juice in here. I might have to pause this live stream and get more orange juice. Holy shit. How can I still taste that? Oh, I didn't mix it. That's the reason. And the problem is I don't have a mixer. I don't want to use my hands. Because hands are dirty. Okay, so let's just suffer through this and move on. Okay. So obviously this Christmas is kind of the last one that we have to look forward to as a more or less free peoples. America is not exactly a free society. There are people languishing in Rikers. There are people out here arrested by LAPD, being held without bail, without bond, without charge, without a fucking hearing. That is the state of our democracy in 2024. But those incidents, while horrible, are few and far between. That's not what we're about to see come next year. We're going to see entire, they've said it themselves. They're going to just round up people on the streets, door to door Gestapo. The brown shirts going to be, going along the border, just rounding up people that do not look white, and they're not going to care about your citizenship. They're not going to care about your paperwork. Papers, please. They're not going to even ask for that. You're going to be rounded up, put in a truck, and put in the camps. That's where this is going. And then, should you choose to protest it? Should you choose to have the gall to speak out and say, no, this is wrong? Then, your house gets raided, which, by the way, is already happening here in LAPD, by LAPD. Protesters, Palestinian organizations, are having their homes raided for speaking out about the genocide that America is involved in and destroying Gaza and murdering little children while they sleep. So we can't exactly say that fascism is about to arrive because it's already been here. That's the problem. So, this is a really dark stream. Really great way to start off the energy. Well, that's the facts, though. This is what we have to look forward to, and I've been telling liberals for a long time, you need to get armed, you need to get trained, and you need to get ready, because that's where this is headed. Have a gun, protect yourselves at all times. I sound like the UFC refs. Get a gun, protect yourselves at all times, defend yourselves at all times, and whatever you do, don't open the door if someone knocks at it in the middle of the night. All right, have a good fight. It's scary. People, we have freedom of speech, yes. Again, kind of, sort of, because you speak out at city council here in LAPD and the pigs just throw you right in the gulags. So, to a point, but that's the problem, and I'm going to get so much shit for from people on the left, but the fact is that it can always get worse. And it's going to. the people on the left are absolutely correct in that we have fascism is already here. That's just a plain fact. I mean, the pigs in LAPD, NYPD, Chicago PD, they can just lock up anyone anytime they choose. There's complete impunity if they murder someone in the middle of the night in their own sleep. I mean, we keep seeing it over and over and over. How many times we have to see black folks being murdered in the privacy of their own home while they're sleeping, or even out on their own fucking porch. There was a video I saw of a guy a black guy who had pulled over to help a woman. I think she had a flat tire, if I remember right. Pulled over to help her. Cop pulls up. Car's here, the cop's here, you see the dash cam footage. Guy walks by, and they say something, and they're like, hey, the cop's like, hey, what's going on? I was like, just helping. And then all of a sudden, the cop draws his gun, fires. I think he fired about 2 or 3 shots. Black guy goes down, and the woman comes out like, what the fuck? What did you do that for? What'd you do that for? And the guy's like, I'm sorry. And it doesn't matter, you just shot someone, dude. Do I have comments? Swipe to the right. It says swipe to the... Oh, there we go. Okay, good. Then how do I put this away? I am still fucking... I have the biggest boomer energy on TikTok now. So fascism is already here. It's already happening. And shame on the Dems for capitulating every single time. When people were saying defund the police, the Dems ran to the right. What a surprise. They denied their own base, and they ignored the will of the voters, and they got punished for it. So fascism is here. It's already happening. The difference that we're missing out on is that it's about to be expanded on exponentially. I mean, right now, American fascism, under Biden and when the Dems were in control, was kind of doing this little, it was kind of like doing this, looked like an ocean wave. Let's just call it that, right? Looked like a little bit of this. But boy, once Trump gets in, I mean, it's just gonna be it's gonna be a wall. We're gonna build a wall of exponential fascism. That's what's gonna happen. Yeah. It's going to get bad. We have to be prepared that there has to be community, there has to be networking, there has to be organizing, and most importantly, do not obey in advance. Here is the silver lining, is that we're already seeing it. Trump and the MAGA regime coalition is already falling apart. They're fighting amongst themselves, which is what Trump does. He views everything as a power struggle. He ran the last White House as like The Apprentice, where he would have his own people fighting amongst themselves for his attention and his approval and his, his signature on whatever in the fuck they wanted him to do. So the incompetence is going to be in our favor. So a lot of the stuff that they want to do, they won't be able to. However, that is not going to stop them, because what they're going to lack in political expertise and just legislative knowledge and ability to, work for a living, they're going to make up for in sheer cruelty. They will have the power of the military at their fingertips. They will have the power of the FBI, the CIA, DHS, ICE, all these other agencies, and they will use them. They will use them and they will deploy them, and we're going to see Americans rounded up because that's what they've said they're going to do, and that's what they're going to do. Again, really fun stream, James. Good topic of choice. Yeah. Really great pick me up right after Christmas. Yeah, you're smart. We're going to continue to see women bleed out in parking lots because of not being able to get health care, not being able to get access to abortion. We're going to continue to see a wave of transgender, an assault on transgender people, and we need to be prepared. This is not something that we can stand idly by. Do not obey in advance. If we're going to see a lot of this where the Democrats are going to try and capitulate, because the Democrats are still in this naive, rose-colored glass idea of bipartisanship. It does not exist. It hasn't existed fucking since my lifetime, pretty much. And they're going to capitulate. They're going to compromise, as they would call it. I call it complete capitulation. And the Republicans will want to go, like they already have. Went after the election, Schumer, fucking idiot, made a deal with the Republicans to give up on certain appeals court level judges, which is the higher court, in favor of a bunch of federal level judges. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? Are you in charge of the Senate or are you not? And that's the problem. When the Democrats have power, they don't use it. They cower, they tuck tail and run, and they look to Mitch McConnell to say, oh, but please, Daddy Mitch, is that okay? And then, of course, Mitch is like, well, I have to say, if you're going to do that, then I'm going to need some power on top of the power that I don't have, that you have, so you can give me power. And I am your father, Luke. We will have to hold them accountable. We'll have to hold them. They're going to have to be lobbied hard. You're going to have to call your representatives. You're going to have to show up. You're going to have to march. You're going to have to protest, because the Democrats will continuously fail us. I have tried to get the word out as much as I can that the DNC election, which is coming up, is the only way to attempt to move the party to the left. And to do that, we will have to lobby the nominees for the head of the DNC. We will have to threaten the people who are going to vote for people like Rahm Emanuel. Are you kidding me? The DNC operatives want to vote in Rahm fucking killing Emanuel? No, we absolutely have to threaten these people with their political careers. If this is the person they want to nominate, if these centrists, these establishment hacks are who they're going to put in charge of the party, we need to threaten them with banishment, with exile, with absolute destruction at the polls. We need to ensure that they never have a career in this industry again. I say industry as if politics is something like, it shouldn't be a fucking industry. It shouldn't be a fucking area of commerce, okay? Politics should be an area of expertise. It should be an area of fucking people caring. And I think that the only way to do that is going to be to continue to put the blame where it belongs, which is on the billionaires. The billionaires are the problem, and if we don't continue to call them out, then what's the point? What are we even doing? You know? I can't. What am I doing here? There we go. Sorry, I got a setting here. Again, such straight boomer energy. How do I get rid of the screen? Oh, there we go. Imagine. Look at all the anger that was bubbling just beneath the surface with this whole Luigi Mangione thing. Look at all the rage that was there at these kid-killing corporatists, right? All these healthcare industry executives. And when you think about it, Brian Thompson was a mass murderer. That's what he was. He held a job where he murdered people by refusing to get them the treatment that they needed. That's just a fact. He was on his way to a healthcare conference with other mass murderers that also killed people by denying them healthcare. So really, when Luigi Mangione did what he did, Brian Thompson can't hurt anyone ever again. He actually saved a lot of lives. Different perspective on it when you think about it. But look at all that rage that was bubbling just beneath the surface. And it was there. It was there to be harnessed this election, and the Democrats failed miserably. They were warned. They were told from the very beginning, once it was known that Kamala would be the nominee, it's like, don't listen to the billionaires. They are the enemy. Fight them. And instead, in typical fucking corruption moves, you know, the machine politics of the Democratic Party, she listened to her fucking brother, who's a billionaire at Uber. Really? In this, you can't run with the advice of billionaires playing a centrist campaign against someone running a populist campaign. And you think about it again, Trump was the perfect candidate for this cycle to fight against. He's a billionaire criminal. He's jacking up the price of your housing. He doesn't work with unions. He is the absolute perfect villain, and the Democrats failed, because that's kind of what they do. And the only way that we're going to be able to win this is to make them the enemy, because they are. We have to keep the focus. Every single issue that comes up, the issue is the billionaires, whether it's housing, whether it's the environment, whether it's China, or this whole bullshit about buying Canada. You know who wants to buy Canada? Fucking billionaires. You think they're gonna make housing easier in fucking Canada? No, they're gonna just put a bunch of goddamn oil wells up there. That's what they're gonna do. They're not gonna build low-income housing for you. We have to continue the fight against the billionaire criminals. That is the only way that we can harness this energy, this rage, this fury at this corporate capitalism that we have been stuck with. Everything comes back to the billionaires. One of the biggest problems that people complained about after the election was inflation, right? And yeah, inflation was a problem. It was going down. It was going down big time. It was actually near, like, almost to pre-pandemic levels. But the fact is, when Trump is saying, the Democrats are raising the price of your eggs, so much money, so much money. 1 carton of eggs is like $1 million. When he's saying stuff like that, and all your answer is, but, oh, well, if you look at the charts, inflation's not that bad. It doesn't matter. And I know that I'm doing that now for this stream. I'm giving this just for pure analytics. But for a policy, for a campaign, what you need to hit back with is, you know why the cost is going up? It's because of people like Trump, because of people like Elon and fucking all these vulture capitalists. You want to talk about the price of eggs? These billionaire corporations that are in the food industry, all working together. They use algorithms, and they do it illegally, and they jack up the prices, and they create basically a monopoly using multi-different companies so that they can't get charged with antitrust laws. And they work together, and now we see Kroger is putting in price surging. That's the enemy. That's the enemy. This desire, these billionaire companies making record profits off the fucking charts and still paying you poverty wages. That is the problem. And if we don't speak to that, again, I can sound like an idiot with all my like, oh, but charts and statistics. If you look at this one right here, you can see the inflation actually trending downward. I can say all that, but the fact is, when you're here, you can see the inflation actually trending downward. I can say all that, but the fact is, when you're here, you can see the inflation actually trending downward. I can say all that, but the fact is, when you're campaigning, if you got to get people motivated, you're going to show them a fucking spreadsheet, or you're going to show them a fucking picture of a CEO that's driving up the prices and say, that's your enemy. Let's take him out. That's how we're going to win.